All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Israel Wake Up Call. My name is Mike Maliss, and sisters, women of Israel, queens and princesses of Israel, we gotta have a talk. And today I'm coming to you as your brother, because I am your brother. And I'm gonna talk to you today as a brother would talk to a sister that he loves. I have a video. And I'm not going to give the video any setup because I just want to play it so that you can see your own reaction from it. And then we're going to talk about it. So quite frankly, I just want to jump right into this. So let's watch the video. Here we go.
Hey, let's just right here. Hey, let me ask y'all something. Hey, do y'all see yourself on this sign right here? Do y'all see y'all race?
We're trying to work the,
Okay, well, what would you call yourself?
Come on, girls.
African American.
African American. Why would you call yourself African American?
African descent.
Okay, so you saying that you come from the continent of Africa? Let me help you out.
Well, my ancestors did. I was born here in America.
Okay, that land was conquered by Leos, Scipios, and Conus, right?
Yeah.
This was white Jew. So
Now go ahead, I'm coming.
Did you see it from so-called white man?
Go ahead, I'm coming.
Thank you. We black. We know we black.
No, you ain't black. Black's calling the crayon box. Your shirt is black. You ain't black.
No, mulatto.
We're going to show you that these names, if you call yourself African American and you was born before 1985, you actually older than your race. That's right. So what we're showing you that these are the names that God gave. These are the biblical names. And these are the
Make that
names
turn.
that gave us to slavery.
Come on, because Tari, somebody
I
steps
know,
up on
make
the
the
go
turn.
kart. Come on.
Hey, brother,
They do this every
thing is
weekend. You can do this. You can see this in
you want to make
downtown.
the true identity. Isaiah 1 and 3. Isaiah 1 and 3.
Girl,
Check this
please.
out.
Book of Isaiah,
What's your name, brother?
chapter
Canard, bro.
1,
Janor.
Canard.
and verse 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Peter Canard.
Yeah.
Okay, get that. Isaiah 1 and 3.
Very right. My wife supposed to be meeting
The
my wife.
ox knoweth his owner,
So this is a dumb animal, right? The ox knoweth his owner, right?
and the ass his master's crib.
And the ass his master's crib, which is another dumb animal. So the ox knows his owner and the ass knows his master's crib, right? Go ahead, read.
But Israel
But this people right here, Israel, does not do what?
do not know. My people do not consider.
We don't even consider that we are the people of the book.
All right, let me get on, brother.
Okay, you got a flyer?
Yeah, I got one.
Hey, check that flyer out.
All right.
Hey, brother, I got a second.
Okay. Now you just saw that. Now I want you to let it stew. I want you to ponder on what you just saw. Because what you actually saw was one of the major problems in our nation as a whole. Even as I think about it, I'm baffled. Because I've never seen it this clear before. And I love when the Most High just gives us one to see. But that was one of the most disrespectful, disgraceful things I've ever seen towards our nation. Now, what did you actually see? You saw a young Israelite princess grab, I don't know who that was, if it was her father, but it wasn't her husband because the brother said he had to go meet his wife. So I'm assuming that this was his daughter. But you saw a young Israelite princess physically and literally pull a man, an Israelite man, away from the word of the Most High God. And that is one of the biggest problems in Israel today. The attitude of a sister like that. That is something that is killing and destroying our nation. Why? This young princess interfered with the work of the Most High. The Most High humbled that brother's spirit to stop and talk to his brothers in a nice, calm fashion, in a peaceful fashion. And the ironic thing about this, those brothers were out there trying to tell our people who they are. Bring them into their royalty. And this sister literally grabbed this brother's hand and tried to pull him away from the word of the Most High. Absolutely disrespectful and disgraceful. And you know what, sisters? A lot of you have that attitude. I'm not going to say all of you, but a lot of you do. And I don't think you understand how horrible this actually is, because first off, we black, we know we black. First of all, sister, you're not black. So you are speaking uneducatedly about your own nationality. Because God never said we were black. He called us Israelites. We are not what the color of our skin is. And she's so ignorant. This is why the Most High said women are not to teach in church, because of that confusion. But not only did she pull this king away from the word, but she also did it to the entire family. Did you see? She was like, come on, girls, come on. Now, what else did you pick up on what that sister said? That sister said they are out here every weekend doing this. Every weekend. So you know what that means? That means that sister has seen them time and time again and ignored those brothers. And those brothers are out there for the good of our nation. They're taking time away from their families to be out there to tell our people who we are, to educate, to feed the flock. And this sister just pulls his brother away. Now, did you pick up what the brother said or whatever? He's like, I gotta get on. I gotta get on or whatever. He has to go. But that wasn't his attitude at the beginning. He was there wanting to learn. He was even telling them, yo, go ahead. I'll catch up, go ahead. But that sister was so persistent in pulling him away from the word. Now, do you see how his attitude changed afterwards? Well, I got to get on or whatever. That was not the same attitude that he had. Do you know why he did that? Because he knew the consequence that was coming for staying there, having to deal with a stubborn, loudmouth black woman. And I'm telling you that, and you know it's true. You know it's absolutely true. And so that's what I want to talk about today. The diary of a strong black woman. And I'm going to tell you why that term is so offensive. The strong black woman. I hate that term. I can't stand it. Why? Because the strong black woman is a creation. It is the creation of an Edomite. Now, you may not like what I'm having to say, but trust me, by the time this is over, you'll understand. And hopefully a lot of you will change your perception of what that is. You'll see yourself then more than just a strong black woman. Number one, when did all that strong black woman stuff start? It started late 50s, early 60s. That the black woman could be independent. She did not need her husband. She didn't need a man. All this happened so that they can create the process called welfare here in America. Now, as you already know, as we've had many lessons before, that's all a part of the crafty counsel. How to break up the Israelite families. And when I say black, I'm speaking of all of us. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because if you don't know this, you're all black. If you don't know this, they look at you as being black. You may put whatever you want to on that job application, but you are black to them. And that's when I say black, that's what I mean. So you have this idea that has been pitched to our sisters that you are independent, you don't need a man for anything, and during the whole welfare system process, the man couldn't even be in the house. That was by design, so that they can get the black man out of the house to separate our nation, so that a man can't rise up and teach his wife and his children the word of the Most High. Keep them separated the same way as they do with the Hispanics and the blacks and the Native Americans. Keep them separated. Keep the Native Americans on their reserve. Keep the Hispanics out of the country. And keep the blacks here dumb and stupid with church every Sunday. So now you have this nation, these generations of strong black women. That's all you want to hear. I'm a strong black woman. I'm proud. I don't need a man for nothing. I don't need anybody for nothing. So now you have this idea going just throughout our generations, throughout, and now we're separated as a people. All the way to the point where a young Israelite woman can grab a grown man and pull him away from the word of the Most High. I don't think y'all understand how offensive that really was. And if you go back, if you rewind and you go back, look at the brother's face like he wanted to punch on her nose. But that is the bravado that that woman has, that she should not have towards her kings. That is a problem. And that woman exists in a lot of two-parent homes that may eventually just go ahead and lead to a one-parent home because of the strong black woman. And let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, that is the creation of an Edomite. They trained you to be that way because the Most High never told you to ever be like that. He said that the Israelite woman is to be humble, meek, and submissive to her husband. And I want to make sure that I stress that word submissive. It doesn't mean that your husband is a dictator over you. It means you play your position and do as you are supposed to do so that he can play his. Remember, woman, you are the helpmeet of your husband. The helpmeet, which means he needs you and you need him. You're one. It doesn't mean that you lord over him. As a matter of fact, there's a law against that according to the Most High. That women are not to usurp authority over a man. And y'all gotta understand that. But they've trained you to believe saying be submissive to your husband is a horrible thing when it's not. When you do that, when you are submissive to your husband and y'all are following the commandments, guess what? Your home is blessed. These Edomites knew exactly what they were doing. Not just them, but all the other rest of the nations as well. Sisters, how many times have you ever heard the term a strong white woman? How many times have you ever heard the term a strong Asian woman? How many times have you heard the term a strong African woman? You don't. You know why? Because they know how to deal with their husbands. I don't care what you say. You can get mad at what I just said. They do know. Because when it comes to that white woman with her white husband, that woman is meek. And she lets him do what he's supposed to do. When it comes to the Asian woman, the very same thing. When it comes to the African woman, the very same thing. Even the Arabs. None of those women ever go around claiming to be this strong, fill in the blank woman. No, it's just with you. You know why? Because when you are a strong black woman, guess how they're looking at you? Guess how these Edomites are looking at you? They are looking at you like, yes, right here. This is our creation. We created the strong black woman. They treat you like damn Frankenstein. Yes, we created a monster. This woman is so strong, just by her opening her mouth, she can destroy her own household, separate him. She is so strong that she can run her man out of the house. Not only that, but also her sons. And not only that, turn her own daughters against her. So strong, so stubbornly strong. Yes, that is what we created. And the thing is, sisters, we need you. Because you have your position to play too. We love our sisters. We want our sisters. But this strong black woman nonsense is keeping our nation separated. And y'all keep falling for it over and over and over. And I'm making such a big deal about this here because you saw it for yourself with that woman there. Now, being that I said that, here's where the stubbornness comes in. And particularly with one particular scripture. And I'm giving this here as an example. Do you know the scripture Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5? Where the Most High specifically tells us our dress code that women are not to wear which pertaineth unto a man. Now you know what that means. It means that sisters, you cannot wear pants. And quite frankly, brothers, you cannot be getting up in dresses. That's what it means. But I have had so many different conversations with our sisters. I had one sister actually say, well, you know what? I'm just going to have to not go with this God thing. I can't get out of these pants. I won't. That sister said, I won't. I promise I'm not making that up. She said no. Now, when you actually do that, do you know what's happening? You are going against your nation. You are keeping us in our oppression. That's not the only sin though, but that is a major one. And I'm getting ready to show you something that actually has consequences when you don't. All right. So I'm going to show you a video right now that's going to prove my point, and we'll talk about it here in a second. All right. Here we go.
Video.
Yeah, Jessica, this whole incident was captured on a Farmington Police School Resource Officer's lapel camera at the start of the school year. The officer took the 11-year-old student to the ground after the student was accused of getting physical with school staff, something the video just doesn't back up.
Okay, I've had enough of this. Take your bag off. Take your bag off. You're done.
It is shocking video.
Put your arms behind your back.
That's hard to watch.
Ow! My arm!
An 11-year-old girl crying out as a now former Farmington Police School Resource Officer tries to put her in cuffs at a middle school.
Turn over! Turn over!
Police video of the incident was released today, along with an apology from Farmington Police Chief Steve Hebby.
There's no excuse for the way this girl was treated.
It happened.
Video of a school police officer body slamming a female high school student has triggered outrage in a North Carolina community. Cell phone video shows Rollsville police officer Ruben De Los Santos yesterday picking up the 15-year-old and throwing her to the ground. He was responding to a fight between two other female students at the town's high school near Raleigh. Vladimir Dutier of our streaming network CBSN shows us the fallout. Vlad, good morning.
Good morning. Officer Ruben De Los Santos has been placed on administrative leave. The mother of the young girl who was body slammed told our local CBS affiliate that her daughter suffered a concussion. The school's principal sent a letter to parents saying she was deeply concerned by what she saw.
It's unclear what prompted Officer De Los Santos to slam this teenage girl to the ground. He was responding to this fight between two other girls caught on a second video. Moments later, the teen is taken down by the officer. A school official says she was not involved in the initial fight, and a witness claims the girl was actually trying to break up the brawl, which involved her sister. Parents learning about the incident expressed concern.
Being a parent of two kids, I have a senior and a freshman here, a boy and a girl. I don't think an adult ever really should body slam a child, especially a female.
I'd like to know what happened prior to escalating, getting to that point. So if there's more to the video, I'd like to see it. I think as parents, we have a right to see it and know what's going on.
In a short
A
statement,
school police official is being investigated after a video featuring him body slamming a 6th grade student went viral.
Janessa, chill! Janessa, you okay? Janessa, you okay? She landed on her face.
Where's the supervisor? Get out of the car. Where's the supervisor? Come on out. Somebody need to step out of the car. Where's the supervisor? You can't just step out. We have to step out. Come out. Man, come on out of the car. Come on out. Move. Come on out. Move away from me. Hey, man, you're not in charge. Shut the f*** up and get out of the car. Yeah. Who you talking to? You! What's your name? Put your head down. Calm down. What's your name? Don't put your rag. Shut your mouth. No. Are you the supervisor? Ma'am, I'm going to listen to you. Come on. Let go. Where's the supervisor? What's the supervisor? Man, where's the supervisor? Come on. Supervisor, I need the supervisor. You're making it so bad for you. We're calling the supervisor. They've been calling it for 10 minutes. I want the supervisor now. I want my supervisor. I want the supervisor. Oh, stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Stop resisting!
One. All right, sisters, y'all saw that. Now, tell me this. What's the one thing that every last one of those sisters had in common? I know you saw it. Some of you won't say it, but I know you saw it. And as you see, they had no regard for the young or the old. They were slamming every last one of you sisters down to the ground with brute force. They didn't care what your agenda was. But this is why I'm telling you, this has a consequence. Now, for those of you that don't want to answer it, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Every last one of those sisters had on pants. So when the Most High tells you in Deuteronomy 22:5 that he does not want his queens and his princesses in pants, I think the man knows what he's talking about. Why does that happen? Because when you women wear pants, it puts a masculine spirit on you. You've heard the term before, who wears the pants in this house? All that. The strong black woman. Now you got to remember this. The Most High sent Edomites to punish the Israelites. That's all throughout Scripture. And those were Edomites doing that to those sisters. So when you think for 1 second that you wearing pants don't have a consequence, you better be kidding yourself. Because the Most High, let me tell you, now you got to remember something about the Most High. This is the same man that killed everybody on the planet except for 8 people. He has a mean streak. He has anger. He has wrath. He talks about this all throughout the Bible. And what does he say? He's going to punish his children. He is not going to spare the rod for his kids. This is what he says. And we are his chosen ones. So sisters, whenever you want to be disobedient, disrespectful, and rebellious and rock pants, the Most High said, okay, go ahead. You want to dress like a man, I'm going to make sure these Edomites treat you like one. And they've been slamming y'all to the ground. And y'all don't get this here. Y'all don't get the level of disrespect that is happening to you right now. Y'all don't understand here that they are taking young and old women, elderly and youth, and slamming y'all to the ground, slamming you up against cars. They have no respect for you. All the way now to the point now, they have no respect for you to the point they are shooting you through your windows, sisters. And the Most High is allowing it to happen. Why? Because you are not following this one simple commandment. Wear dresses. Fringe them. Now, for those of you who are like, oh, well, my job will not allow me to wear dresses to work. I work in a work environment where I can't do that. Okay, so let's see how serious you are about this. So how about you do this? How about wear your dress to work, get to work, change. Work is over, change back into your dress. At least you're showing the Most High that you're trying. But sisters, y'all got to get this. So now, I'm going to give you a scripture. And after this scripture, I want you to be able to see what you sisters are missing out on. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Sisters, do y'all understand what that verse meant? The Most High said, not even, let me emphasize this. Sisters, as your ancestors, when they followed the commandments, sisters, their feet did not touch the floor. That is how delicate, tender, and precious our ancestors were when we were in rulership. Do y'all understand that? Your feet did not touch the floor when you traveled. That's what the adventurous part means. Do y'all not understand the level of royalty that y'all are? Do y'all not understand who you are? And a lot of you don't. How do I know? The first video. I want you sisters to get this. Your feet did not touch the ground. Is that equality? So when you see images like this, and like this right here, you see these other nations? Like this? Sisters, they're mocking you. This belonged to you. This is how you traveled. And now the other nations are throwing it right back in your face. And they're televising this. They're putting this in their media, in their magazines, just so that you can see. And guess what? Your Christian pastor never told you about this. You never learned about this on Sunday. But guess what, sisters? That's how you are supposed to be living. To where your feet, the sole of your feet is not supposed to touch the floor. But yet you would just much rather wear pants, be disrespectful to your husbands, that nigga, and all that. That's the attitude that you have towards your brothers, towards kings and princes of Israel. That is a major, major problem. And a lot of you say, well, guess what? I see the way that the Israelite women dress or whatever. I don't like that style. So now we go to the parable that Christ gave when he said, okay, I'm going to give y'all the talents. This one's going to have a talent. That's going to have a talent. That one's going to have a talent too. And guess what? You all have to do something. You got to use your talent in the form of money or whatever it was. And the one guy said, I did this. I used his talent. And Christ said, good. Absolutely. Great job. The next one said, I used the talent. Okay, yes. Great job. I'm going to do a Bible study about that too, specifically. And then the last one said, I didn't do anything with it. And what happened to him? He was put to death. Christ told him, into the darkness for you, the weeping and gnashing of teeth. Put him to death. So now I'll come to my sisters in Israel. What talent do you have that can change the fashion game, just as long as it's within the Most High's guidelines? We're the sisters of Israel to rise and stand up and change the game. Where are all you sisters here that have all this talent? What are you going to do to help change our nation? Versus complain about what you don't want to do. Sisters, this is real. There are consequences for your actions, and guess what? They are beginning to manifest on this planet. They've been dealing with the brothers for a long time. And guess what, sisters? Now it's your turn. And this is the authorities coming after you with this here. I'm telling you. Y'all don't understand about that whole Tatiana Jefferson thing. Y'all don't get it. But the Most High is bringing out judgment against you, sisters. It's really time for y'all to wake up. As I told you before, sisters, we need you. And guess what, sisters? You need us. You do. And we're going to get rid of this whole strong black woman thing. No. You should never subscribe to that nonsense, that creation. Do you know what you should always subscribe to? You should always subscribe, and you should never let anybody disrespecting you by saying anything else. You should say, I am an Israelite queen or princess. Get it right. Because that's what you are according to the scriptures, sisters. That's what you are. So now it's time to break these generational curses of this damn Frankenstein monster that they created. That is so powerful that it'll train its daughter, and then the granddaughter, and then the great-granddaughter. It'll see 3 generations of stupidity and rebelliousness. And then die happy. Absolutely moronic. And it's a degradation for our nation. So sisters, it's really up to you. But here's the thing though. Y'all have to start realizing what you're worth. It's time for you sisters to rise up. Rise up, women of Israel. Rise up! Because the brothers are starting to. As you saw from the first video, that brother humbled himself and stopped. The Most High put that brother in that position, and then this sister came and pulled him away from it. And he ran. Effeminate man ran because he knew what the consequence was if he would have stayed there. That's a damn shame. It should be embarrassing for us to see something like that. It really should. But guess what, sisters? This is up to you. And I'm going to stay on this here too. I'm going to help motivate my sisters and my brothers, of course, but I'm going to help motivate you to be the very best that you are. Not the best that you could be, the best that you are. Full throttle, 100%. Because you are 100%. You are full capacity of greatness. And y'all need to understand that. But guess what? We can't do it separated. We all have to do it together. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That is what we were created for. And sisters, I want you to get back on your thrones. I want you to be able to say, when I travel on my adventures, my feet don't touch the floor. That is who you are to the Most High. You read it for yourself. And you saw you fell from grace. That is a curse put on you, sisters. That was a curse put on you. And the Most High said, you know what? Versus you living like that in your royalness, in your prestige, in your regal form, I'm going to make you bitter towards your husband and your children. And I know so much of that is going on in your households today. Right now, as a matter of fact. And you know it. Just like I know it. But guess what? You can change. It's all up to you if you do. Now, of course, I'm not going to end on a bad note. I don't think any of this was bad at all, quite frankly. I mean, if you got offended by this, then good. You should be offended. Because it hit your heart. And guess what? It's time for you to change. All right? I'm not perfect. I used to be a scumbag. I really was. I was a horrible dude. But guess what? The Most High put his foot in my ass and said, you're going to rise up now. I'm not playing with you. You're going to be what I created you to be. And I'm not hearing no for an answer. That's what you're going to do. And sisters, he's saying the very same thing to you. It's time for our nation to rise. And don't be afraid of it either. It's time for us to rise. Get our families back in order. Get the brother and sisterhood back together. Because I don't know if y'all know, these last days are coming. All of these signs are all over the place. When that sky cracks, where are you going to be? And you need to understand that, because if you're not following the commandments, you're dead. And y'all gotta understand that death to you that don't follow the commandments. And this is a warning. And I will continue to warn our people. And sisters, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. And I want the best for my people. All right? So, with all that said, I want you to take a look at this, sisters. And I want you to always remember this image. All right? Here we go.